All right, guys. Thanks for coming to the talk today. I'm Rohit. I'm from InfStones, one of the world's largest node infrastructure service providers. And we'll be talking about the technical considerations of restaking pools. So leading up to the launch of EigenLayer, everybody has heard of the word restaking, especially in the Ethereum ecosystem. And just to make sure everybody's on the same page, I just want to go over what is restaking. So for various proof-of-stake networks, they rely on crypto-economic security provided by the network's gas token, which are delegated to validators. And we can think of these validators as computers that are solving math problems to propose and build new blocks. In other words, these computers can solve additional problems for a fee to secure additional networks. So not only are these validators staking the original network, in this case Ethereum, but they're also staking other networks that are built on Ethereum. So restaking empowers new protocols by eliminating their need to establish a robust, decentralized network of validators from scratch. Instead, these actively validated services, or AVS for short, can rent a portion of Ethereum's existing validator network. So this is where we introduce the infamous and probably the most hyped protocol release in recent memory, EigenLayer. So we can think of EigenLayer as the free market coordination engine that facilitates the incentives between capital, aka the stakers, infrastructure, aka the node operators, and lastly, code, aka the actively validated services. These AVS protocols are critical and require distributed validation. Some of them include oracles, bridges, it could be AI, it could be other kinds of middleware, including decentralized sequencers. And EigenLayer is the protocol which secures these AVS built on Ethereum by leveraging Ethereum's existing consensus layer. So EigenLayer enables stakers to opt in and subject their already staked ETH to additional slashing risk in exchange for extra yield or rewards. And that is for securing these other networks. And us as node operators, we facilitate the stakers' delegation of these assets, including either native staked ETH or liquid staked ETH tokens, by registering and opting to offer various services to these various AVSs, bolstering their security and functionality. So we can think of EigenLayer as a trust network. Each of the three parties, the stakers, the node operators, and the AVS protocols, they are all incentivized by self-interest to trust and work together, thereby creating a system that is truly greater than the sum of its individual parts. Traditional blockchains lack incentives for decentralization. It's a very overlooked aspect in the sense that there isn't any direct incentive to increase decentralization. EigenLayer is novel in this regard because it allows AVS protocols to specifically request a decentralized validator set, thereby promoting the exercise of subjectivity in the network. Lastly, EigenLayer introduces a potential for additional yield for achieving higher levels of decentralization, thus directly incentivizing this critical aspect of blockchain infrastructure. So what makes EigenLayer magic is its incentive and coordination flywheel. All the parties are incentivized to work together and thereby producing a network effect that builds on each other. So the more ETH that are delegated to node operators or to people who choose to validate themselves increases the security for AVS protocols which are building on the network. The more AVS protocols there are, this incentivizes DApps to use these Lego blocks in order to build more robust applications on the network. The more dApps there are generating fees, this incentivizes higher restaking rewards for node operators to compete and provide as much value as possible, in addition to the higher yield for the original stakers. And the higher the restaking yield, the more incentive there is for more capital to join the network. So just to kind of reiterate, the AVS protocols, we can think of them as Lego blocks upon which other applications which are building on Ethereum can leverage to really get a better product. So EigenLayer, from a node operator perspective, is truly a new paradigm. This platform introduces a dynamic governance model offering an open market for validators to choose modules and AVS protocols that are aligned with our risk and profit goals. In addition, node operators are essential in this framework as we are the ones running the infrastructure that maintains the network's integrity. With EigenLayer, anybody can take on the role as an operator, including yourself at an at-home validator, thereby engaging in the network security. And to kind of get to the meat of the presentation, restaking pools on EigenLayer encourage collective delegation to node operators. So once you deposit either your liquid stake tokens, or you point your existing beacon chain validator, the withdrawal address to EigenLayer, you have to decide who you want to restake with. And if you choose to restake with a node operator, for that purpose, we consider that a restaking pool. And these EigenLayer offers a tremendous flexibility for all parties involved, giving people a true free market experience and giving people really what they want. So when it comes to delegating your liquid stake tokens or your existing beacon chain validator, there's 3 options to go about restaking. You can do native restaking, aka you're running a beacon chain validator, and you also choose to become a node operator on EigenLayer yourself. You can delegate with an operator, such as ourselves, InfStones, or you could simply buy a liquid restaking token on the open market. And all 3 of these options have their own pros and cons. The most important of which is reward flexibility. So if you are running your own beacon chain validator and choose to become a node operator and delegate to yourself, you have the most flexibility in terms of your rewards. As these AVS protocols choose the node operators to work with, and the node operators choose which AVSs they want to work with, you have flexibility to choose as many AVS protocols to work with, thereby maximizing the potential rewards for yourself. With liquid restaking tokens, because they're a fungible asset, the protocol which you are buying the liquid restaking token from, they are the ones who get to decide which basket of AVS protocols you will support. Meanwhile, node operators, we will be able to offer multiple packages of AVS for a custom solution that meets both your risk and reward profile. With smart contract risk, obviously for delegating yourself, it's like the least risk. If you're buying a liquid restaking token, you're adding multiple additional points of failure. And with pooled restaking, aka delegating to an operator, you are introducing a new point of failure when you engage in the one-click restaking. With regards to counterparty risk, because you are responsible for picking all the AVS yourself, vetting them, it is the highest risk when delegating to yourself. Whereas if you are delegating to a node operator, we vet and do research on all the AVS based on their business models, their sustainability, their maliciousness for you, and that makes it a much less risky option when it comes to counterparty. So with regards to some further topics, with native restaking, you have to run your own beacon chain validator, and as a result, you have to have multiples of 32 ETH. Whereas with both pooled restaking and liquid restaking tokens, there's no minimum as long as you can pay the gas fee. Setting up your own restaking module, setting up your own validator node requires a lot more technical skill than delegating to a node operator or simply buying a liquid restaking token, where we guide you and hold your hand through each step of the process. And lastly, with regards to custody, in crypto, it's not your keys, not your coins. With a liquid restaking token, you are simply buying the right to redeem your ETH from the node operator. Whereas with pooled restaking and native restaking, you control your keys and you're able to withdraw and maintain full custody of your assets. So with EigenLayer launching mainnet very soon, there are dozens of operators that will launch on day one. And it might be daunting from an end user perspective to decide which one am I going to pick. So this is where the technical considerations come in, and you must include the risk profile of the AVS protocols the node operator are supporting. And this is similar to assessing corporate bond yields in traditional finance. When you're investing with, for example, an asset management service. So as an end user, you have to make sure that you understand the key risks of restaking are the slashing risk that could impact your principal if slashing rules are violated by these additional AVS protocols, the liquidity risks of introducing LSTs in the pool delegation, and lastly, the concentration risk from heavy investment in a single AVS by the node operator. So what are we node operators doing to mitigate this risk? Well, we are optimizing the individual AVS parameters, including TVL caps, slashing rules, and fee distribution for the end user safety. And we're also diversifying across multiple AVS protocols to mitigate any correlated risks. So to add to the analogy above with traditional finance, basically, we are emphasizing the strategic allocation and risk management necessary for effective restaking by the end user. In essence, selecting an operator involves balancing the potential rewards against the operational and financial risks inherent in restaking within the EigenLayer ecosystem. So InfStones, us as a node operator, where we shine is our experience. We have an extremely experienced and technically adept team trusted by industry leaders since 2018. We proudly stand as an exclusive node operator for Swell's liquid restaking token, and we maintain exclusive partnerships with renowned entities like Binance and ImToken. We've been deeply involved in all the Ethereum staking, Lido liquid staking, and EigenLayer restaking ecosystems from day one. We have an impeccable validator track record with 100% liveness and 98% effectiveness rating. And lastly, we've already partnered with several of the initial showcase AVS projects, and we'll be supporting them on mainnet from day one. These various AVS projects are not obligated to work with every single node operator. In fact, we are putting ourselves in a position for future promising AVS projects to want to work with us. And our expanding research team heavily vets each potential new AVS to ensure sustainable partnerships, useful software, sustainable business models, and avoiding any malicious actors. So to kind of wrap it up, EigenLayer is one of the most exciting things to happen to Ethereum since its inception. We're introducing a whole new primitive, and we anticipate a robust and healthy ecosystem with hundreds of innovative new AVS projects in the coming years. Aside from just bridges or oracles or decentralized sequencers, EigenLayer is innovating in terms of the feature set that they allow AVS protocols to have. Two recently announced projects are one, Ethos, which is a decentralized policy engine for governance, and two, Ritual, which is a machine learning model that can be used to estimate real-time parameter values for various applications like Uniswap that are built on Ethereum. So with Ritual, for example, Uniswap has to calculate in real time values of their functions, and that can be automated with this AVS, and it'll calculate the values for the function using real-time order flow data. So we're only limited by our imagination in terms of the Legos and building blocks that we can build with EigenLayer. EigenLayer, if you guys haven't heard yet, is having a point system for delegating to their protocol. And we recently released an article about how to potentially qualify for that airdrop. And you can visit InfStones.com to read that article. So just to kind of wrap it up, if there's any questions, InfStones, we are one of the largest node infrastructure service providers in the world. Our 4 products are SafeStake, where you can safely stake on the world's leading proof-of-stake blockchains with us. PowerNode, you can deploy blockchain nodes across more than 80 networks with 1 click. Our lightning-fast API access to over 80 blockchains. And lastly, BlockWatch, where you can get lightning-fast API access and command and control your services 24/7. Thank you guys for coming to the presentation today. I really appreciate your time and look forward to next time. Have a great day, guys.